guys, Mikey here with TactiCalifornia. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today we are discussing how much ammunition you need. To start this conversation off, we definitely need to address what your needs are. Are you a recreational shooter, meaning maybe you have a few 1911s and you go to the range a few times a month or less? You have a 1022, you like to plink around, maybe it's with your kids or something, it's just a bonding experience. If that's you, first off, I would like to say, consider that there are other uses for firearms that potentially could save your life. That's all I'm going to say. Now, if that's you and you're a recreational shooter, I would recommend at least 500 rounds per firearm. That's not per caliber, that's per firearm. So if you have one 9mm handgun, you should have 500 rounds of 9mm. If you have two 9mm handguns, you should have 1,000 rounds of 9mm. Now, why do I say this? I say this because of ammunition bans and ammunition ban scares. A perfect example of this would be the green-tipped ammunition that the ATF was threatening to ban for the 5.56 caliber. It's a 62 grain steel core that was labeled as a penetrator round, and so they were thinking, oh, well, it can penetrate law enforcement armor, and it's put in handguns because people make AR pistols, so we should ban it. It was a ridiculous notion. Thank goodness enough of us stood up for ourselves, stood up to the ATF and told them, this is ridiculous, you can't do that. So it didn't happen. But just the scare of it, just the idea that the ammunition could have been banned caused prices in 5.56 and 2.23 caliber ammunition to skyrocket. I saw a case of 1,000 rounds of 5.56 going for $879. That's ludicrous, okay? And people were buying it. Why? Because it was in demand and it was nowhere to be found, okay? The stores would get maybe 1 or 2 cans of 1,000 rounds, so they jack up the price because they could and because they needed to make ends meet because they weren't selling all the little boxes because they couldn't get them from wholesalers. So it sucked. And if you didn't have ammunition, you were either out of luck or you were either out of a ton of money because those were your only two options. I got caught with my pants down during that situation. I had just gone on a shooting trip. I had blown through, I think, 1,500 rounds of 5.56 and I had like 100 rounds left. And I was stuck with that 100 rounds for several months until prices eventually dropped. I was able to get my hands on some remanufactured ammunition that got me by until I was able to get what I really needed to get. But learn from my mistake. Okay, even if you're just recreationally shooting, you want to have enough ammunition on hand to outlast that situation. Okay, so definitely consider that. I would say 500 rounds per firearm is a minimum for recreational people. How about people like me and probably like you as well, who are defensively minded, who use firearms and own firearms for that, God forbid, worst case scenario where we need to defend ourselves or our loved ones? I would recommend 1,000 rounds per firearm. Again, not per caliber, per firearm. I know that sounds insane, but there's a few reasons I have this number. I didn't just come up with it like, oh, let's just double the recreational shooter. I came up with this thinking about, I need to arm myself. I need to keep my skill level up. I need to be able to outlast any situation in which I'd find myself in, however improbable. And it's a wonderful bartering tool, okay? So without rule of law, let's say the government collapsed, zombies invaded, whatever it is, there's no government here to come and save you, right? You don't know what kind of situation you're going to find yourself in. Furthermore, ammunition production might completely cease, might just stop, okay? Whoa, you better have enough to keep your skill level up, right? To go out and practice, keep your fundamentals honed, okay? You're gonna need enough to outlast any situation, whether it be combative, hunting, whatever it is, you're gonna need ammunition for it, as well as arming perhaps somebody else. You're not the only one in your house, I'm assuming. At least a vast majority of us are either married, have children, live with our parents, whatever it is. And there's more people in your house you can arm if you have more ammunition and more firearms. So definitely consider that. Also consider that if you choose to go that route, now they need to keep their skill level up, okay? So that's even more ammunition there. So 1,000 rounds per firearm minimum. That's where I got that number. That's pretty much it, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you do, please click like down below and subscribe to the channel for other cool videos we got coming your way. I'm Michael with TactiCalifornia. Thanks for watching.